Susan Spellman here. Today I'd like to ask about emotions. What are emotions, and how is it that we understand emotions? So what if we think about emotions for a minute? What we usually say when we're talking about our emotions is, I'm depressed, or I'm anxious, that kind of thing. And what's important to see is that these are diagnoses. This is a way to categorize feelings. And underneath these diagnoses are many, many different feelings. So for example, with depression, if we look at depression, many people have different feelings about depression. Some people are feeling helpless, some people are feeling hopeless, some are very angry about what's happened in the past. It's different for different people. So what's helpful is to look at this question for yourself. Like, if I'm depressed, say I'm depressed, then what is it that I'm really feeling? Am I feeling hopeful, hopeless? One of the easiest ways to deal with this is to look at a list of emotions, which you can find on the internet. And so you just ask yourself, okay, how am I feeling? You go through the list and you tick off how you're feeling. And that way it gives you a label of more basic emotions that go under the category of depression. Okay, so this can be very, very helpful, because when you label the feelings, sometimes it takes the edge off of those feelings. And it also helps you know what to do about it. If you're feeling hopeless, of course, you want to work on feeling more hopeful, and so it's more concrete advice for yourself as to what I need to do. And the same with anxiety. You can look at anxiety. If I'm anxious, how am I feeling when I'm anxious? And it can be a variety of feelings as well: scared, uncertain, not confident, these kinds of things. So this is a helpful way to look at feelings. And depression almost always has to do with the past. My energy is focused on the past, on what happened, what didn't happen, what I wish I had done, what I'm sorry that I did. So we have a regret, anger, often about what happened, especially if certain things happened when you were a child. You might have a lot of anger about that, a lot of shame about that, guilt, lots of other feelings under the category of depression. And for anxiety, this is almost always about the future. It's like, I want to move forward, but I don't know how to, or I don't feel confident that I can handle it. So confidence is a big issue with anxiety, that life feels overwhelming. I don't know what to do about it. I'm afraid I can't do it. So this again often has to do with earlier issues in life, what you were taught, that you don't feel good enough, you don't feel secure enough in your ability, that kind of thing. And then the other one I'd like to look at is addictions. And so these days we have many, many addictions, and probably more since the pandemic, because people are inside, they're isolated, they don't have many people to talk to often, and so they turn to other things to try to relieve some of their feelings that they don't know how to handle. So we have, of course, the standard ones are food addictions, eating addictions, and then drug and alcohol. But then we also have relationship addictions. We can have TV addictions. We can have phone addictions. We can have all kinds of addictions these days. And one of the purposes of addictions, to look at that category of addictions, is that it numbs us out. It numbs us out to what we might be feeling if we weren't doing those things, if we weren't drinking, if we weren't eating too much, if we weren't looking at our phone all the time. How would we be feeling? And so that's the function of addictions in that category, is it talks about the ways that you numb yourself out. So again, it's very helpful to look at, how do I do that? If you do any kind of addictive behavior, and many of us do have all kinds, and many of us have more during the pandemic than we did before, then it's like, what do I do, and what are the feelings that I'm trying to get away from or avoid? lonely, disconnected. These kinds of things are likely now, in this day and age. So anyway, these are some ideas for you to look at. It's not to fix you. It's really to look for you, to help you look at yourself. And what is it what's driving me? What are the feelings that really are underneath all of these? And what can I do about them? What do I want to do about them? Okay, thanks.